Hello guys! So it's Halloween night and I thought I'd share some of my ghost stories with you. So last year I told a ghost story from one of the old houses that I used to live in. And this year I thought I'd tell you two separate occasions where I feel like I had ghostly encounter, even though I don't firmly believe in ghosts. It's still instances where I can't explain what really happened. So let's get started with the story from when I was on a study trip to York in England. I went to York with my classmates from the university, and while we were there we decided to go on a ghost tour because we knew that York was known for its haunted locations. So we went and nothing happened, but at the end of the tour we wanted to go to the Black Swan, which was one of the most haunted pubs in York. So we went to the Black Swan and it was like a typically brown English pub. But me and my friend was a bit spooked after the ghost tour and we had to go to the toilet, so we decided we should go together, holding each other's hands like we were 5 years old. Once we got into the toilets, we realized that one of the toilets were broken, so we had to do it one at a time. And while I was in the toilet, I heard a specific knock on the wall. So I asked my friend, "Was that you?" And she said, No, it wasn't. Wasn't it you?" We tried to knock the same rhythm on the wall back to whatever or whoever it was knocking on the wall. And then it replied. And we stood there frozen, okay, is it someone working here? What is this? And the weird thing was that it sounded more like it was on wood, but the toilets were in concrete and, bathroom tiles. So we kept on knocking, and so did the person or whatever it was on the walls. And it started getting so loud. And I couldn't understand, how could it be so loud? It was concrete. So I was starting to get a little bit spooked, and I decided that I just wanted to wash my hands and get out of that bathroom. And in England, they have one tap that turns for hot water and one that turns for cold water. And when I turned the cold water, nothing happened. So I tried to twist the hot water one, and suddenly it started flowing and flowing. It was burning hot water and it was just pouring out of the tap. It started even filling up the sink. It was kind of terrifying because I didn't know what had happened. I had just slightly twisted the tap and this water was just splurging out of this tap. My friend ran out to tell one of the staff, something is wrong with the sink, can you please help us? And whilst she was out there asking for help, I stood there trying to twist the tap. The warm water was starting to fog up the mirror in front of me. While I stood there, I looked at myself in the mirror and I could just see a foggy figure, but for some reason it didn't seem like me. And I don't have an explanation for it, but it just didn't feel right. It was really weird, and that still stuck with me. I mean, I can still remember that moment when I looked at myself in the mirror and it wasn't me. These next stories are from a different house than the one I've told you about before. Both me and my boyfriend had sleep paralysis in this house, and neither of us have had it ever again since or before. So this is the first story about when my boyfriend got sleep paralysis in his bedroom. I know that there's different kinds of sleep paralysis, and some say that sleep paralysis are actually ghostly encounters, and some say that no, it's the brain. But he had this terrible sleep paralysis where he woke up and a girl was standing next to his bed and just standing there looking at him. He told me that it seemed like she had really long black hair, but he couldn't really see her face. But at the same time it felt like she was staring at him. This next one is one of my own experiences, where I had sleep paralysis in my friend's bedroom. I wanted to hang out by myself. I knew that she had cats in her bedroom, so I went up there and hung out with the cats. And then I just lay down on her bed. I don't remember falling asleep, but I remember feeling very heavy and for some reason very cold. And I couldn't really move. I don't remember trying too hard, but I couldn't move. it was in the middle of the night, because back then I didn't really have a good, sleep schedule. I remember seeing this really tall, dark figure in the back of the room, and he was just standing there, not moving at all. And suddenly the whole room just seemed to like darken. It seemed like it all just started coming towards me. It was really, really weird, and I still felt locked to the bed. And I can't really remember what happened, but suddenly I just woke up, and I remember scaring the cats by waking up so like rapidly. And yeah, I didn't like spending time in that room after that. It really, really spooked me. This last story is what I consider to be one of the most like unexplainable stories that I have. It's not that it's that spooky, but it's more like I don't have an explanation, and I don't have any like scientific solution to why this happened. So, me and my boyfriend was playing cards in his room when we suddenly heard footsteps above us. We had 2 friends who lived on the floor above us, so we knew that could be one of them. So I asked Curly to just go up and check, like, oh, is Marnie or Felix home? Since it was in the middle of the night after all. He went up to check, and when he came down again, he said, no, there's no one there. And Curly is not a believer of ghosts or spiritual stuff, so he was actually a little bit like, how and why and what? So we sat down and started playing cards again, and it happened again, and it was so clear. I can't begin to explain how clear these footsteps was. It was really like someone was walking on the floor above us, but there was no one home. And I still can't explain how that happened. So this was my Halloween special episode, and I hope I didn't scare you too much, and I hope you have a nice Halloween, even though if you go trick-or-treating, or you just chill at home with a horror movie, or even if you just get a pumpkin spice latte. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I'll see you in November. Bye!